Oh, I'm live. Hi, everybody. It's Lisa from Sweet and Sassy Treasures. And I wanted to finish up our moose project. And let me catch you up as to what happened after my live on Friday. So I had mentioned before I went off camera that too much of the actual paper was covered up for my liking. So I spent like a long time taking all of that off. I used my sander. I don't know why I didn't just go and cut another piece of wood, but I didn't. And hello, whoever's joining me. It's just saying Facebook user, you guys. So, I could pull you up on my phone here so I can see names. But it was well worth it. And then I just decoupaged another paper, no bubbles, which absolutely thrills me. And wait, I'm gonna go to, oh no, here I am. So I should be able to see. Yep. Hi Deb. Hi Tracy. I can see names on here. So let me set my phone right there for now. Hi Sherry. So that's what I did. And remember how that bow was bothering me? So I just went to the bigger bow and it's perfect. It covers up enough space. So I did the same background. It's blended in really well. And then I decided I wanted to add some crackle and I'm going to add some rust. So hi Rita. So I used the Pentart 2-part crackle paste system. One of these days, you guys, I'm going to talk about all the difference in the crackles, and they really do each have their own purpose. So this is Pentart Universal Cracking Primer, meaning you can use it with any of their 2-part crackle systems. The fine line crackle comes usually in a set with its own crackling primer, but this could be used with all of them. Then over the top of it, there you can use cracking. It's not called gel, but that's what I'm going to call it, cracking gel. This is cracking paste. There's 1-part crackle. Yeah, and there is, I was going to actually do that today, but then I was afraid I was going to misspeak. So if you want texture like I do, I'm going to use the cracking paste. Let's say I know that I want my texture to be silver. That's when I can use the cracking, maybe it's called metallic paste, something like that, with the same universal primer. So if you know what color it is and that color is available, get that. If that color is not available, then you want to use the white. I want to use the paste because I want it to have a little bit of dimension. Then there's a 3D paste, which would give you even more dimension. I didn't want that. Then you have the fine line crackle. So the fine line crackle, if I don't want dimension, is my favorite. The downside of the Pentart fine line crackle is you can't use water-based products to seal it because it disintegrates it. Paint Couture has a 2-part crackle system that you can use water-based products with. So that's why I have so many, and that's why I offer so many. And I use so many different ones. Then there's Pentart has a 1-step. It's clear, and that's just where that product itself is what cracks. So I don't know how much that helps. But for this, what I did, and if you were here with me, you could see, let me see if I can zoom in enough for you to see this one part. Right here, where it's shiny, that's what the cracking primer does. It's clear and it'll be shiny. That's how you know where it's located. After that dries, and you can force dry it with a heat gun, which is nice. After that dries, Then you put your cracking paste on. You guys, I took my heat gun to it. Here, let's do it right here in this little spot. I want you to be able to see how cool this is. I brightened this up a little bit too much, so let me. So see, it's right by his nose here. Actually, let me go. There's part of the bow. Let's see if we can't. I'm going to move this down here on my project. Zoom out. So right in here, it's shiny, which means that's where primer is. So I'm going to take a little bit of my cracking paste. And here's another fun thing. Here's that. I don't like the angle that that's at. There we go. I forgot that I had these. I bought these from Pink Couture. They had them on clearance, so I'm able to offer them to you guys for a really good price. They're under $8. And this is what I use to apply a lot of my paste. I've never used one before, and it's pure heaven. And I'm sure you guys have them, but if not, then that's a really good option. So I could take mine, which is right here. So I'm going to take some of the paste out, and then I'm going to apply it right where I can see some primer here. I don't want to go overboard. The thinner you go, the finer the cracks. I think I could put a little bit in there too. And this goes a long way. So you can see right there where it's smooth. Now I'm going to apply the heat. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mary. Hello, Brian. So I'm going to apply the heat. I'm going to mute this so you don't. See it? So right there. Oh, yeah, there's a little primer. I'm getting some cracks there, too. That is so fun. Now let's go over here where I just added paste. It's like magic. So cool. So here I applied it on thicker and I get bigger cracks. And you'll see that that happened kind of sporadically. Let me wipe this off. But I don't know how I worked for all these years without using this. What did I do with my water? Here it is. Just going to clean this off. You could soak it in water because it wouldn't matter. So pretty cool, right? All right, I'm gonna push back where you were, up there. Zoom out. So now, color scheme, right, is gonna be an issue because I want there to be some rust, but I don't want it all rusted. And you can see I've got a little bit of primer there, but some in here. Actually, I wouldn't mind bringing that a little bit more over than it is. I did this late after I finished up that other live, and it was hard to see where I had the primer. I am, you guys, the first of the year. I am launching a VIP, a private group, and I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing right now. I'll still be live the 2 days a week. This is just going to be an extra for anybody who wants. we'll do a deep dive into Pentart products. So now let's say right there, there's no primer. It's going to give me texture, which is, you know, a bonus. No, I can't see names because StreamYard did a reset of some sort. And, oops. And whoever had given permission, that's gone. That's lost. So, I can't see names now, which is super frustrating. Make sure. Sandy, I see. Tracy, Michelle, hey, sweetie, Mary, Manta. So I've got it up on my phone, but I have so many products that I'm going to be using that I don't have much desktop space. Is there a charge? Yes, that's going to be a paid private group. You guys, I resisted it for a long, long time because I was afraid I wouldn't have enough content. But if people have been asking me for it. And so, hi, Carol. So it will be, it's not going to be a lot. You'll be able to cancel anytime. I'm going to be live one extra day a week for that group. And then it was a tough decision for me because I am not all about money. That just is not who I am. But it was something that people wanted, and so I'll give it a go. All right. So what I want to do, and it's going to sound counterproductive, but I'm going to put skeleton key over most of this. I saved my plate, but for anybody who doesn't, you know, that's not a good fit for them, you won't know the difference. So you'll still see me Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and but I'd like to take requests for what people want to learn, you know, and I think it's easier to do in that type of a setting. But okay, so I know that we're going to focus just on this top part for right now. And I know where I want rust to go in that top part. And it's pretty much, you know, on those edges where you see. And I'll bring it in other spots too. But I'm just going to use, I've got the skeleton key. And I'm going to put the crinoline back on my plate, just like I did before. And a little bit of sandy blonde. I did try when I was off camera to bring in some cake batter, and boy, this product is not a cake batter candidate because this color, it's more of a green, like a chartreuse almost. So here's those colors, and I'm going to take them and move them over here so I can get, and I'm going to just dab that. And I wanted it darker over there, so I will bring in a little bit of black velvet. That thing does not understand what little bit means. So I've got both those on my plate right there. So I'm going to take a pile of skeleton key, just grab a little bit of black velvet. Now I get a really pretty gray. I'll be able to go in that area. And what stunk about this is I'm duplicating work, right? Because I already did all of this. But unfortunately, that's the creative process, is you pivot as you go along. I'm going to go in darker in this area up here. Let me dry that. Then we're going to go in with some rust. So I was left. Oh, okay. Trying to see comments. So you're going to see that crackle's just going to pop right through. Hopefully you can see that over there. And so now I'm going to, so here's where I tried using the cake batter and I had a glob in the top of my bottle. So here's where I'm going to do my rust thing on this plate. Get rid of this. Pentart has a rust system that I have purchased and have stocked, but I haven't tried it yet. So that will be fun exploration. So this is Summer Crush. This is the same colors I always use to make rust. Layered chocolate, which I know is not going to come out of here. I'm going to have to scoop it out. And I got to think about what kind of a brush I want here. Something bigger and shorter. This might be good. Okay. That's plenty right there. And then spend all that time figuring out what brush, but I can't use it because it's going to have too much layered chocolate. And now Prairie Gray. And then I've already got some crinoline and sandy blonde over there if I need it. Crinoline is typically the other color that I use. So here we've got some Prairie Gray. And now I'm just going to see where I go with this. Summer Crush, Prairie Gray, layered chocolate. And what's nice about mixing is you can bring it out to where you're going to have a variety of different levels. So I'm going to grab some sandy blonde here. And you really don't want to take it across your project like I just did. So we're going to get, that's going to be another level there. And if I take some crinoline and pull that out, I've got yet another level. So I'm going to take that same brush because it does have some, actually I'm going to use a combination of two. I want a crappy brush. Let me grab one. I wanted to have somewhat of like a mop head like this. So along the edge, the rust would be more intensified. So I'm going to go into this darker area here. And I'm going to start dabbing in that corner. Now I'll go maybe to the middle here, to the outside, so I can get some variation. And it would travel along the top here. I went a little bit darker because I'm near that edge. Maybe it'll come in there. And this is when I would pick up my piece to look and see, you know, what am I thinking? How is it going with what my vision is? Go across top here. I'm going to really try and focus just on that one side. So I'm going to dry that for a second. Hey, Mary. God, it's so nice. I can see all the YouTube names. Keep going near my phone. Probably not the best idea. So cracks are coming through. So now I've got that mixture on this brush, and I'm going to pull that through, and that's going to make it look more authentic. You know, because rust doesn't just like go in and take over, right? So what do you guys think of that? I think that's pretty much the look I was going for. Hey, Mary. Hi, Sandy. Oh, you will be able to see the full screen. But if I do full screen for this, you won't be able to see what I'm doing. So you will be able to see full screen, I promise. So I'm going to go back here and go back into my rust compilation here. And I'm just going to continue with that. Zoom out here. You know, I don't want it to look deliberate and intentional. See how that's going zoop, zoop, zoop? That is not a good thing. I'm going to go in and grab some of this darker layered chocolate. Get that on my brush. Bring that in. I'll tone that down a little just by using that same brush. Just layers and layers. So now I want to be careful here. This side goes like this. I don't want to do that same kind of thing. So maybe I'll pull it in more. I'm going to need to make some more. So I'm going to take my layered chocolate, prairie gray, summer crush, and not all of this is going to be rusted. More of that way. Grab some of my sandy blonde. Pull that in to the different areas. Here's some crinoline. And now I got quite a few shades again. So I'll just work with what's on my brush. So I'm going to come in this corner, but I'm going to bring it more in here, I think. I'm not thrilled with that color, but I'll fix that. That's the general idea of what I'd like to do with it. So I'm going to go and grab where it should be pretty light. I'm going to go where it's a little bit darker. And it might be time. I don't like to switch my brush, but let's see if I can get. More orange in there. Or, you know, you have to let it dry sometimes even. And I'll be able to pull back or brush in, you know, either one of those things. So I'm going to take my, I just grabbed the brush with my hand. I'm going to take my blue mixture. Let me dry that. Very pretty. Thank you, you guys. Again, I heat it up, those cracks come right back through. That's the benefit of the crackling paste, because you get that nice dimension. The 3D will give you even more. So now that that's dry, I'm going to be able to really go in with my blue colors. In there, I'll go in more with a light color than with this darker. I feel like I need to tone that down a little up there. I just don't want that to look like it's so repetitive. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to go a little bit darker right in there. And I keep looking at my camera. So right in here, I want it to be a lot lighter, which is why I keep all my colors out, you guys. Thank you, Sandy. Hi, Peggy. So I've got my crinoline here. And so I've got that same brush, but I'm going to concentrate on those lighter colors. So right there. Probably need it to be creamier than that. So now pull that, just so that I'm not totally losing what I got going on there. I could blend it with my finger. Which is always good to do. Go back in with the blues and blend that transition. I'm very, very happy with that. So over here now, I feel like I want to bring in some of that lightness a little. I think that looks good. So that's what we've got so far. Up here isn't necessarily working for me. I need to get that to where it's a lot less balanced. What is that? Oh, okay. Just lightly hitting the rust brush. There we go. Maybe pull a little bit more in there. And there's no crackle there, and that's okay. I like that. It's still too deliberate for me there. Now it's really deliberate. Okay. Tone that down. There we go. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to have to move my camera so that you can see the rest of it. So I'm going to have to go back in. I'm just going to set my rust aside for a second here. And I'm just going to go in with my skeleton key shades. Beautiful texture there. Really, really nice. You see that crackle there? Looks so good. Now, one of the things I lost was all that harlequin that I had there, but I can go in and put it over the top. We're just going to dab this. And with the paste being white, you really need to cover it all. So it's going to be lighter there. Try and get rid of that noise. The bow is going to be a whole nother story. So right now I'm just going to get paint on all of this. And I do have bonding primer on my bow. So just getting color on here. What's everybody up to today? Oh, I know it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. This is super fun project that I think is worth watching. Except, you know, part one is not where I ended up today, so that's going to be a little bit tricky. Because I ripped it all off. So I do not want that white coming through. I mean, I guess a little bit wouldn't be the end of the world, but and I have my stencils sitting right here, so I can bring those back in too. Just gorgeous crackle. You can see some of that harlequin here. And in person, you can see that harlequin texture that we started with. But with textures and mixed media, that's not out of the, you know, ordinary, that what you started with may not be visible at all. Okay. So I got that down there. I'm going to bring in some of that darker gray. I'm going to have to mix up. I don't like working on right on this project. I'll bring some of that. The edge. Around the bow. That's just skeleton key and black velvet. Where was I working here? So it gives us a nice shadow around the bow. I'm going to pull that into the corner here. Just get that to blend. Since I'm heavier rust over here in this corner, I'm going to want to be heavier rust probably here and then bring this in more here is what I'm thinking, and around the bow. Oh, that's so cool. So just blend that out a little. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the whole thing, trying to decide, you know, where I'm going to go here. I'm going to take, I'm up here in this corner. That dark color. Come in a little bit. Just another dimension. Don't want them to be identical. Black velvet and skeleton key. Back over here now. And you'll see I'll go back and forth. My bibelots. I have to I'm going to get the mix to mold, Betty, at Hobby Lobby, right? That's what everybody said. Since mine exploded upon delivery. Again, I'm putting this here. You may not ever see it. I may cover everything with rust. Don't know. Let's see if I can get some of this in here. That side darker. Okay, I'm going to dry that. Baby Wife's going to clean everything up. Who bought some yesterday? Peggy. What are you guys thinking of it? What's the durability like? I get the, I heard like ceramic. So if you drop it, you break it, kind of a thing. Look at the cracks, you guys. How glorious they are. Look at that. Oh, it's amazing. That's where it's a lot thicker in there. All right, let's work. I need to first lighten this up just a little, this transition. Dry brush. Okay. Rust. This is where, you know, I get nervous because I don't want to go overboard. I don't, you know, see, we're right here by the moose's antlers. Yeah, but like that it's easier and less mess than resin. Sets in 60 minutes. That's good to know. But you know, let's be honest, ornaments you do have to be careful with. So pros and cons to everything for sure. All right, this is all dried up now. Okay, I got a lot of colors. I'm actually gonna start by the bow, you guys, and make the two merge. Is what I'm gonna do. Let me move this back a little before I end up a huge mess. Okay, so I'm gonna want like the bow stopped the rust from progressing, kind of, is what I think I'm looking at. Lighter. Darker. Go to a darker area if I can find some. I want it browner than that. There we go. It's probably a little too brown. Lighter. There we go. I can't even really tell you where I'm grabbing off my plate because things are kind of everywhere. I'm going to have this just go really light over here. So, water affected this side of it more than this side. Go up to the bow in this area. I think I like what I just did there. Then you got that really pretty blue opening there, which is cool. Okay, what is in this area? Oh, that looks good. I like that. Okay, so you can see this is just like, as my grandma would have said, mucky guck. All right, and this area, that's heavy that way. So I'm gonna go in here. Let's do this. In here, just a little on the edge. Not a lot. That's got to be painted still. I don't like the white coming through. Mix 3 scoops of powdered. Oh, thank you for that. I found myself back down at the ribbon. Just using whatever's on my brush. Just get a little bit in there. Any thoughts on bow color would be more than appreciated. I don't know. I'm leaning towards skeleton key, but I don't know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joey. Yeah, I like that I went with the bigger bow too. So I'm going to take a brush and cover up all these white spots. And then the next thing I need to do is a baby wipe so I can really see exactly where everything's at. So I'm going to just use the skeleton key portion. I mean, a little white wouldn't, like, it's not a deal breaker for me, but okay, I've got the lighter color. Sitting on top of those cracks, which is really cool. Get that bow to pop more. Bronze for the bow, that's a good idea. Let me see here. I mean, maybe it should be a rusty bow. Okay, what I think I need is more or not cake batter. What's it called? Sandy blonde. Put this here. This is mostly crinoline. But there's truthfully a bunch of crap on my plate right here. You can't really tell that they're harlequin. So I'm just going to cover it back up. I mean, I don't hate it, but I think if I went with the smaller one, you'd be able to tell. Okay, put this step aside. Go to a baby wipe. I'm going to put these in water. Clean things up and see where I'm at. And then think about the bow. You know, it might be a thought to start with the bow in black velvet. Rusty bow, yeah. Red like the bows. That's what I was going to do. Was the color of the bow. Let me zoom totally out. See if I can't get you guys to see more. I have my my camera on top of a paint can on top of a stool. So I have to be careful. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that actually. Okay, so hi, did you come downstairs to see Mama? Just getting rid of anything that looks like random. Paint thingy, my Bobby. Yeah, harlequin right there looks really cool coming through. There's one here. I can uncover a little bit. If you want some of those peaks to come through, you know, you can wipe over the top. This just helps it look more like it's part of the piece than brushed on top. But wax is really going to be your friend for this piece. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get rid of some of that. Okay, decisions. Okay, we're gonna try some. You guys ready? Oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna start with black. It's total experiment. I'm gonna start with black. You know, this is gonna take a while. So again, this has bonding primer on it. And if I get a little black around it, that's not a big deal because it'll just look like a shadow. So this is the larger bow. In my original one, I had the smaller bow. I ripped it off. And the bigger one just was perfect. So this next week, we're going to be using, can't even remember what I wanted to use it on. Watch out, Judy. Feel like I'm late to the party on this one. Pigment Fix and Metal Pigment. It's what I'm going to use on that ornament to finish last week's tile. And then I was going to use it on something else, and I can't remember what it was. Oh my God. I could have used it on this, but I went totally in a different color direction. So if you joined late, you guys, all I see is Facebook user because of something that happened behind the scenes that I have no idea about. It was either Facebook or StreamYard that I can't see names, but I'll try and research it and figure it out. I can on my phone, but I can't look up. So I'm doing black because a black base just makes everything richer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just trying this. I don't know. I'm going to do the skeleton key over the top, I think, and then rust it and drip it. This is tricky in here. That's what I think I'm going to do. If I have to paint over it, yeah, so be it. I have to set it on my lap for a second. And the reason that I'm doing these sides is because if I don't, it's going to look flat. You know, it's what's going to give it its third dimension. Shoulda, coulda painted it before I put it on, but I had no clue what direction I was going with everything. It's a heavy little critter. Again, I'm not worried about that black that's getting on the board because of the plan. All right, I think that might be good enough. All right. Let me try this. Make it light. Make it light. It takes away from the mousse. It will be. It's just going to be black right now. That black's going to give us dimension under the lighter colors. Yep, rusty is what I think. I mean, we'll see. Makes me a little nervous. Okay. Hello, everybody. So glad everybody joined me today. We got football on upstairs. We're going to dinner. Try that. There's quite a cute face. Oh no. What team? What team? We're waiting for the Lions, which is late tonight. All right, now crinoline, paintbrush. I'm making this up as I go along, you guys. There are like no promises here whatsoever. So if I wanted this to look old, color on this ribbon would have washed away on the ends. More so than in other spots. The tops of things. I'm actually liking this, to be honest with you, this look. Vikings. All right, sandy blondes, all the usual suspects. Oh, I hate having to go in and get some more layered chocolate. I wish I could get it out of this container. Because even with something wrong, I still get it on my fingers. And I know that's not going to be enough. Watch out, please. You guys are troopers, man. All right, here we go. That should be better. Thanks, Deb Campo, for the chopsticks. Okay. All right, this is where I have to think. I'm going to do, I hope so. We got to see here. So I'm going to go in. Actually, I need prairie gray. So I'm going to go in with layered chocolate. Now I'm going to take some prairie gray. I'm really not sure where this is going to go. Really late. We'll watch replay. Just glad you popped in. Again, I can't see names. All right. I'm going to mix up some rust. So I have all those colors. Okay. I think it would look good. Color of the light color in the moose back leg. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I tried cake batter, which is a yellow, and that did not work. Okay, so we're going to try this first. Oh, I forgot to make my... Let's see what happens with this. You guys aren't going to be able to see, but you'll get the gist. So I got that on there heavy. And now I'm going to go with the water. See if I can't get it to move. It needs some help. We're getting there. I'll show you as soon as I can. So that's what I'm getting, is that right there. Let me dry this. Some juicy chocolate brown overall. Okay, that is working, and it is giving me the look that I want. Most crafting as we want to have fun. So that's what I'm going to keep doing back and forth. So, let's see. Gotta go and grab all this rust. Trying to work fast so I can get it when it's more wet. Kind of go over it once, I think, and then start building what I'm going to drip. Okay. Loosening that up so I can get it to flow. It's nice and soupy now. I know you guys can't see, but I don't know how to accomplish. And if I thinned this out like I should, it would drip better. But I'm really liking those colors underneath coming through. I'm going to set it down and dry it. And wax is going to do a lot for all of this. So those cracks are popping right back from the paste. I'm going to clear wax, dark wax, and black wax. And that'll help with some of the areas where I'm not real thrilled with the colors. Okay, a couple of things I need to do where that black dripped. And again, I can fix that with wax, but that was bothering me a little bit. All right. I don't know how you guys are hanging in here. I'm going to paint the sides black because that has to be done. It makes such a difference in the look that I need to have that done before I do the wax. Good. I think you could go in a totally different direction. You know, I originally wanted to do the bow, the pink color, but I would have needed to stick in, just for me, and more of a neutral palette. Could have totally not done the rust. It would have been really cool too, and done a really light bow. Okay, that's done. Oh, I don't like where my brain's going right now. I gotta look at this on camera. I won't know till I get it done. Okay. I think your brain is just fine. Thank you. So here's what's bothering me. There's too much rust. So I don't blame you if you want to just wait to see the finished project. I would be so tempted to do that. So I'm going in, mixing up more of the skeleton key and getting rid of some of that rust. I'm not going to go this far and do it half-assed. It's just, I'm not going to. I'm not going to stop and pretend that I like it when I don't. It's just not me. See, going back to that more natural background colors. Some rust I think I'll like, but I think it's too much for the colors that are in this paper. I muted you. Oh my God, you guys, how long have you been muted for? That's hysterical. Thank you. All right, here's clear wax. I'm just going to rub that in. I think you've been muted for quite a while, if I remember correctly when I did it. And I have to make sure I get a good coat on here because otherwise I'm not going to be able to manipulate the other waxes like I like to. Okay. Oh, I don't have much. I'm going to have to get this out, put it on something. Should be able to put it on here. I think there's a little bit of room. Now, you know, people say, don't worry if you get too much dark wax, you can just erase it with the clear wax. That has never, ever, ever, ever worked for me. So I'm going to use this brush that I already use for darker waxes. So I'm going to set it over there and then just wipe this back. And now where it's rusty, I'm going to go in with the dark wax. Now this brush has, looks like hard particles on it maybe. But it's going to go and it's going to sit right in those cracks. Where did I just do that? Right here. So that's why I like to clean my brushes, because I'm not really one to clean my brushes. But it's those particles that I don't necessarily love. Look at the cracks popping there. Texture. Now, it would be beneficial to take a lint-free rag. I'm going to use, I got one sitting here. I don't know how well it's going to work. Oops, wrong way. Look at that spot right there. So now I will take clear wax so I can diminish that a little bit. But it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't erase it. It just helps you to be able to pull back. And look at how durable that paste is, because I'm not really wiping that off. Oops, wrong way. This is always the best part when you get to finish stuff. I'm getting glitter from something. I have no idea what. I'm going to now take my black wax. It must be that towel. I'm going to take my black wax on an itty bitty brush because I'm going to use it for details. Oh my God, you guys, that's so funny. I'm so embarrassed about that. All right, so here's my black wax, and I have way too much on my brush right now. So I'm going to take and offload it on the lid, and then offload it on a paper towel. Okay, want to go around the bow. Get that to pop more. And maybe where I want cracks to show up more, I could use my black wax. Oh, it's definitely the towel that has glitter in it. Oh, that's funny. There is glitter everywhere. Looks festive. And I think that's super, super fun. Okay, last but not least. I don't want 320. Do I want? I don't know what this is. I have a sanding block. And that's going to bring the tips out. Of all that texture. And I'm not sanding hard. That's probably what put off. Hopefully you guys can see this. And this isn't the ideal sanding tool. Getting those Harlequin diamonds popping up. See, I need something smaller. I need my little guy. I don't know. Maybe I can use this. It's just a piece of 220 that goes on that sanding block that I'm looking for in my mess of stuff. Thank you. So see, you can get in better with this. Why do all that texture if you're not going to see it, right? Get those tips to pop up. try and get there. And some of that might come up, that paste, but I think I've only had one little section so far. Harlequin popping through, texture, crackle. Harlequin here. And you just kind of keep going over it and pulling up as much as you want. I'm not sure I could like it anymore. Yeah, I could. Just tip this bow. Make it look more aged. Voila. What a mess. All right, let's see. Put this down so I don't have to worry about it falling. All right, let's see if we can see this. Now it's looking like the bow's not centered, but it is. It's the angle that I'm holding this at. There we go, that's better. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a blast. Thank you for joining me. Definitely is centered. I centered it for sure. I appreciate you. Have a fabulous weekend. I know I'm tired watching me too. The worst part was taking off the first section was the worst part. I'll be live Monday. We start, that's tomorrow, I got to post in the group and look and see. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 p.m. Yeah, we start the journal, and then I'll be live Tuesday and Wednesday. So I'll see you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Bye, everybody.